This is Archive of 12, and today we have a new HalaCG song. This is the Phainon song Sunlight, featuring Chira for Honkai Star Rail. Now, I don't know anything about Honkai Star Rail, so I don't know who this character is, but considering the fact that Fable, Divide, and HalaCG all released songs about him on the same weekend, then I feel like something's going on. This must be a new character coming out, and Honkai has asked these three artists to basically be sponsored by them and create music for it. And you know what? All I can say about that is that it's been a little bit since we've had Hala on this channel, and every single time Hala appears, something magical happens. And Fable and Divide, we already know how they are. So if all three of them are doing the same character at the same time, then Honkai, I feel like, is hyping these this guy up. I am excited, so I'm not going to waste any more time. Link will be in the description below if you want to watch it without my commentary, because we'll be pausing, I will be talking about it. And also down below is a link to my Patreon, where you'll find longer form reaction videos to various anime and TV shows. And without further ado, let's get started.
Stand with me, stay strong now. Our gods are bleeding on the ground. I thought it'd quell the voice of doubt, but it's just growing louder, louder. I'll live to see the end, burn myself to light ahead. Call upon convictions I had lost upon the riverbed. I tried to be your God, your savior, but all I did was watch us. If I could stop.
So I'm not gonna lie, because of the way the imagery is being portrayed here, because of the way that Phainon is, I think that's how you pronounce it. Phainon? I'm not sure. Someone can correct me. I think it's Phainon. But because of the way that he's being portrayed, obviously he's a god-like character. He is definitely some sort of divine entity, or has achieved divine levels of power. He reminds me of like an anti-Sephiroth, if that makes any sense. Where like he gives me a little bit of Sephiroth in terms of like the potential arrogance and power, and a lot of Escanor in the like levels of arrogance and pride. And I know that Escanor technically isn't arrogant, it's pride, but like, you know how like his abilities give him that form of arrogance, you know, that I'm going to basically just annihilate you, and there's nothing you can do about it, because I am who I say I am, and who I say I am is the victor. That's the kind of way that's the kind of vibe that I'm getting here. Like Sephiroth kind of has that that same sort of like that same feeling, that same power and pride and arrogance as Escanor, just as a villain rather than a hero. And Phainon feels a lot like that, where like this is a character that essentially could be divinity, that is just sitting there and is going to whether it be intentional or not, bring judgment down on whoever he's facing, as well as potentially a lot of collateral damage, based on the fact that it looked like he was literally generating a sun to throw at people, which is hardcore in its own right. But I just feel that he's one of those characters that has that air about him, you know? And I feel like the way that Hala is singing hypes it up even more. This is a grandiose performance from HalaCG. This is a performance that harkens orchestral themes. It brings forth the idea of like a massive amount of I don't even know exactly what you want to call it, really. It just feels like whatever's going on, Hala's voice is amplifying like a choir. Her singing, and with like the way that the choir vocals are going on in the background, and the harmonic, very godlike aura that the song is generating, it feels just so like pompous and judgmental and holier than thou sort of air about it. And I know that like her words don't reflect that. Her words definitely reflect somebody who almost feels a little remorseful. A little remorseful for the things that he's doing. But the way that she's singing it makes it feel like I am the end all be all. Be not afraid, but at the same time, I'm done watching humanity burn. It's time to step in. And since I don't know anything about this character, I could be way off, but that's just the vibe that I'm getting.
Separate my soul from my body. I'd fly back, way back to the fields of home and hide from the nightmares, the tragedies I've seen. I'll quell my fear and force my will to toughen like stone. We live in imperfect times. There never is a perfect choice. Even if resented, I'll do what I must. The final voice. I won't let your journey end. Under the stars, may we meet again. I once believed the fog would clear, but justice it promised was never here. The sky it burns, cremating bodies, laughing at misguided prophecies. Remember where I came from, how many have I lost? Goodbye, good friends, good people, not once a peaceful God. I've abandoned my fantasies, there is no paradise. I'll tear it all apart and usher in love.
I'm not even gonna lie. After hearing that part specifically, that whole second section, I want HalaCG to do a Sephiroth song. I am honestly surprised that very few people have even attempted to do a Sephiroth song with Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth being like super popular. I'm genuinely surprised nobody's even attempted to touch Sephiroth, because I would have figured that would have been a really hot topic, you know? Hala could pull that off. Hala could bring a one-winged angel style song to life. She's doing it right here. This feels like a heroic version of One Winged Angel in many respects. Obviously, it's not 6 minutes long, and there's no Latin chanting in the background, but there could be. Like, this easily could have been turned into a heroic version of One Winged Angel for Phainon. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting here. That was what I was trying to tell in the first part. I'm like, this feels like angelic, but at the same time also a little hopeful and hopeless at the same time. It's really difficult to describe that, but like I expected that. I expected that Hala was going to do that, just not to this level. So I'm genuinely surprised that Hala, or anybody really, hasn't even attempted to do something like this for Sephiroth, because this is amazing.
The
That was beautiful. That was genuinely beautiful. I loved how she decided to cover this. I loved the examples that she was pulling from with the way that this felt. I genuinely feel like this was definitely pulled in some way, shape, or form from an inspiration for Sephiroth. Or like the song felt like it was definitely coded to be something of that nature. Very angelic, very foreboding, very like, and it's difficult to say because like, I don't really know what words I'm looking for. But again, at the same time, this felt very anti-Sephiroth because it felt very hopeful, whereas Sephiroth's primary vibe is mostly despair and anguish and calamity. This felt like it was the opposite, like trying to prevent calamity, maybe failing in the process, but doing their best to try and do what they could. It was a beautiful example of Hala's grace and her performance and her voice. That's the best way I can put it, is her voice was perfect. It was like, it was tailor-made for a song like this. But anyway, that's going to be it for me. Thank you for joining me. I am Arkoff12, and I will see you in the next video.